Let's bring in Fox News chief political analyst Brit Hume to talk about these big events of the day. Brit, always great to have you.
Thank you, Shannon.
So let's start with that attack pulled off by the Ukrainians. The AP says this undertaking by Ukraine's security service, codenamed Spiderweb, involved more than 18 months of painstaking planning and great risk. Outnumbered, outgunned, and dependent on Western partners, Ukrainian military planners have sought innovative and cost-effective means to exact Russian losses, often leaning in on the element of surprise. And Brit, this is a big embarrassment for the Russians as well, along with the losses.
Yeah, it certainly does establish that this country, whose president was being told at the White House that he didn't have any cards to play, that he apparently has quite a few cards to play, including this daring attack, which, you know, if the Ukrainians can be believed, wiped out about 30 to 40% of Russia's strategic bombing force. That's a major setback for Russia. It is an embarrassing intelligence failure and an embarrassing defense failure. And who knows what else the Ukrainians, who have proved pretty ingenious, may have up their sleeves.
It's true. It does beg questions about what may be coming next. I want to pivot to another headline that we've got here in the States, which is yet another anti-Semitic attack. A number of people, some of them in very serious condition, after that situation in Boulder. According to the latest FBI data, anti-Jewish hate crimes, the latest data that they have between 2022 and 2023, up 63%. And there's a lot of speculation now about what we're seeing on our college campuses, how that's actually for some people going beyond rhetoric and turning into, very dangerous and in some cases fatal action.
Well, you remember when those college presidents said, when asked about calls for the elimination of Israel, basically, that whether that was violating their codes of conduct would depend on, whether they cross the line from talk into action. Well, there's been a lot of action, as those statistics you just cited demonstrate. And this was, even though we don't apparently have any fatalities at this point, this was a particularly hideous attack, frightening attack. It could happen in the streets of a American city and with lots of people around and so forth. And I think that it illustrates that that this anti-Semitism is a force in the world. It's a historic force, and it has reared its ugly head in a major way inside the United States of America and needs to be clamped down on hard. This attack supports the Trump administration's arguments about immigration, but it also raises the question, okay, that's fine, but now you're president, Mr. Trump, and these things continuing to happen, you need to be more effective. At least a lot of people may say that. He's certainly trying.
Yeah, and it looks like Secretary Rubio is suggesting that if you're here on a visa and you have anything that's even a hint of this